What's up, guys? Taylor Gone here. This is week 6 of the rebuild. Um, Things are going pretty good. Uh, Pretty much exactly to plan. I do have a fun little update from last week. Um, I don't know. I just nerd out about these little changes and details, but something didn't feel quite right on my top set. I think it was finally the first week where I had enough weight on the bar where I could really feel my leverages and what was going on. Um, and it seemed that I had a little bit too much knee bend on the box squat, and so I sent Ben my video, and just we've been doing that back and forth. A lot of people have been asking about Ben, what he's up to lately, and we're both still working. Um, we still have the training partner relationship going on, even though we're not training together in person. But we'll do video reviews for each other. And I sent him the video. I said, hey, do I need to like focus on sitting back more and keeping my shins more vertical? And he said, I see what you're seeing here, but it's more of a let's take the transformer bar and adjust it one setting back closer to a hinge um, movement. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I've been running this. So when I did the box squats in Texas, the last time I ran this cycle, it was on a Titan safety squat bar, which has a much shorter cambered and is a lot further back when you have the handles kind of here as opposed to the more curved handles of the transformer bar. It seems like I can really crank down a lot further, which is going to cause the the balance to come forward a little bit. So that's one of the things about the transformer bar is that it's I wouldn't read the settings and be like that's what variation it's going to give me. You really a lot of it depends on how thick you are and where your center of mass is compared to where that bar is sitting. So you might have to make some adjustments. In this case, I'm doing the high bar squat setting. It's most definitely not a high bar squat. I'm doing this for a hip hinge heavy exercise, and I might have to go back another setting, but yeah, it's definitely more, forget about the variation that it says and just structure it to what feels good for what you're trying to do. Um, so we're going to see how that goes. And I've got the incline press set up here. I want to start my squat and deadlift days with another press variation. I'm going to be adding in log in a couple weeks. Right now, I'm doing paused box squats and behind the neck strict press as my main movement or movements, but the idea is to try to incorporate everything involved in a clean and press. I know that doesn't incorporate everything, but I'm doing something explosive through the legs and I'm doing something pressing overhead. So when log gets thrown back into rotation, I'll move the behind the neck strict press to day 3, which is my squat and deadlift day. So right now I'm just using the incline press as a good way to get a little bit more conditioned and used to that frequency. That's one of the things that I like to do is to make one change at a time in your program, but to kind of you know have a little bit of a precursor, a little bit of a catalyst into the next main thing that you're trying to do. So this is just going to be simple, tempo incline pressing. That should help me get conditioned for doing the actual strict pressing on this day. So let's get to it. Oh, this is going to be nice and light, nothing too crazy. Like I said, it's a precursor for the actual work that I want to be doing in a couple weeks. So I'm just going to get a nice light pump here, try to add weight and keep my tempo over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then it'll be ready to switch it out. All right, let's do a cycle update since that's changed this week. Um, Back up to 500 tests and 6 IUs of growth hormone each day. Off days it's in the morning and at night, and training days it's post-workout and before bed. 6 IUs of insulin on training days. I'm about 310 right now, and I'm really this 275 show in August is the heaviest show that I've ever done. All 6 events, and cutting a decent amount of weight. It should be about 10 to 15 pounds of what I have on right now is good bloat. So it shouldn't be too hard to cut down to that, because I'm going to start my water cut from like 290, 295. So I'm not going to be getting nearly as small as I was last year, which I dieted all the way down to like 270 on the dot. So yeah, those updates. In the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'll be ramping things up to about 800 tests, 500 mast, and that'll be my cycle for the majority of the time. I'll be doing some orals here and there, but the majority of my next 16-week prep will be just the 800, 500, and I'll keep the insulin and growth through that. I'm not really trying to put on weight with the insulin. I'm just really trying to maximize my recovery and my performance, since it's such a heavy show at a lighter body weight for me. July last year, so just for context and how I like to do things, I don't know that I'd do it this intense in the future, but it seemed to work very well for my goals of a mental and physical reset. July, I came off everything completely for 3 months, cold turkey, no PCT, absolutely nothing. And then from October to this February, I ran on average 50 milligrams a test a week. And then I've been on 350 for the last month and a half. So you can see I'm just trying to basically repeat the year and start ramping up again. I think that's all the updates I have for this video. Let's just get to training. All right, let's squat. Um, 40 pounds heavier than last week for 2 sets of 3. The first rep of the first set, I was a little sloppy on it. Felt like I let the handles go loose a little bit. But as soon as I locked it down and got some confidence, it felt really good. Um, yeah. Really, the thing that's messing with me right now is I'm just not used to weight. I mean, this is only 540 at the top. And just unracking, like even 3 plates feels just a bit scary. Um, it's improving every week, but as we're starting to creep up into some heavier and heavier loads, um, things are just feeling heavy. And I went into those 2 sets, um, just 4 plates felt really fucking heavy. And then by the second set, that didn't feel very heavy. I almost wanted to go up, but that wouldn't be according to plan. Um, so cool. We'll move on to deadlifts now.